He kissed the ground when he got off the plane. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. Mark Fogel, an American freed from Russia.
I feel like the luckiest man on earth right now.
He said that last night standing next to President Trump at the White House.
He's got a great mother. And when I saw the mother at a rally, she said, if you win, will you get my son out? And I promised. She's 95 years old. And I said, we'll get him out.
Fogel, a teacher, had been jailed in Russia since 2021 for possessing medical marijuana.
The details of the exchange are still unknown, but the president says it was very fair and very reasonable. And he says another American hostage will be released today.
That's Fox's Brooke Singman. Now, minutes ago, a report out of Moscow that a Russian citizen was freed as part of Mark Fogel's release. Elon Musk also went to the White House as the leader of DOGE, the new Department of Government Efficiency, working to trim waste and abuse in federal spending that Democrats decry is out of control.
We had no idea we were going to find this much. And it's open. It's not like complicated. It's
not
simple stuff. It's
like
a lot of work. Yeah. We can't believe it. A lot of work.
And Fox's Doug Luzader reports the president also signed
an executive order tasking federal agencies to work with the Department of Government Efficiency to cut back the federal workforce. The president wants to limit federal hiring to just one person for every 4 workers that leave. And he exempted national security, law enforcement, and immigration enforcement.
Speaking of that, there are multiple reports that 2 top ICE officials have been reassigned as the Trump administration pushes to ramp up immigration raids and arrests and deportations of criminals here illegally. Israel's prime minister is warning he could restart the war in Gaza if Hamas does not release more hostages Saturday, which the militant group says it may not. President Trump warns all hell could break out, and he met at the White House with Jordan's King Abdullah, who does not support the Trump plan for the U.S. to take over Gaza and rebuild it.
I think the point is how do we make this work in a way that is good for everybody?
America's listening to Fox News.
I'm Emily Campagno, host of the Fox True Crime Podcast. It's often said that love makes people do crazy things, and in the name of love, Toby Dorr smuggled a convicted murderer out of prison. She was ultimately convicted for the 2006 crime, but found freedom behind bars. This week, author and criminal justice reform advocate Toby Dorr joins me to discuss that daring escape and to share her message about the importance of second chances.
Listen and follow now at foxtruecrime.com. From around the world,
Trey Yingst joining us from Tel Aviv, Israel.
To Washington.
I'm Mike Emanuel.
To your own backyard. If a story impacts you or your wallet, we're on it. It's the Fox News Rundown. We give every story the deeper look it deserves with must-listen interviews and smart analysis from the voices you can trust. Start your day with the Fox News Rundown. Listen and follow now at foxnewsrundown.com or wherever you get your favorite podcasts.
The conflict with China has escalated after the U.S. put tariffs on Chinese imports, and then China retaliated this week, targeting some American exports. And in Congress, a House hearing probed another area of tension: China's investments in our part of the world.
Florida Republican Congressman Carlos Jimenez spoke about the Chinese influence on the Panama Canal and what it allows the PRC to do.
The United States cannot and will not accept a scenario where a foreign adversary, one that openly seeks to undermine our global standing, controls infrastructure critical to U.S. homeland security, military readiness, and economic stability.
China also has terminal leases in several significant U.S. ports, which led witness Dr. Isaac Carden to focus on the danger of that presence.
Focus should be on implementing stringent and mandatory cybersecurity.
While Dr. Matthew Kronig of the Scowcroft Center said of the U.S.-Chinese relationship,
ultimately, the rivalry concerns the future of global order.
Kevin Uretsky, Fox News.
This morning at the House, Federal Reserve Chairman Jerome Powell will testify about the economy the day after telling senators they're in no hurry to cut interest rates again with a growing economy and a strong job market.
Inflation has eased significantly over the past 2 years, but remains somewhat elevated relative to our 2% longer-term goal.
Now, Powell's testimony will be after we get an inflation update in a few hours, January's Consumer Price Index. And speaking of inflation, egg prices have soared, and now this.
Trader Joe's and other grocers are now capping the number of eggs customers can purchase due to a limited supply caused by the bird flu outbreak. Trader Joe's current limit is 1 carton per customer each day, which applies to all of its locations across the country. In addition to Trader Joe's, consumers in several local media outlets have reported varying limits seen at stores like Costco, Whole Foods, Kroger, and Aldi.
Fox's Hillary Barsky on Wall Street. Ahead of the report on inflation, stock futures are down. I'm Dave Anthony, and this is Fox News.
Local news. News Talk 107.7 and 1400. The Hub.
News is brought to you by One Bank of Tennessee, where service is second to none.
From the WHUB News Center, I'm Rafferty Cleary. Allgood police have identified the man who was fatally shot by law enforcement following a vehicle pursuit Monday morning. APD says Tommy Lee Spurlock was shot and killed after he rear-ended a Putnam County Sheriff's Office patrol car on I-40. The agency said Spurlock had initially fled a DUI traffic stop in town before the shooting took place. Officials say the investigation remains ongoing. TBI special agents have charged a Smith County man with one count of sexual exploitation of a minor. 29-year-old Nathan Tyler Goolsby accused of uploading multiple files of child sex abuse material to a Dropbox account. Cumberland County authorities and the TBI investigating after locating skeletal remains Saturday. A Tuesday press release says someone reported the remains at the area of Westall Road near the Mount Roosevelt Wildlife Management Area. Officials said investigators are working diligently to identify the remains and determine the circumstances surrounding the discovery. That's the news from WHUB. I'm Rafferty Cleary.
From the WHUB Willow Window Studios, your trusted window, garage door, and custom window treatment experts. Willow Window. Stop by their new showroom at 310 Newman Drive, Cookeville.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. This is radio station WHUB, the voice of the Upper Cumberland in Cookeville, Tennessee.
Good morning. Good morning, Cookeville, with Jason and Sheila on 107.7 and 1400 The Hub.
Good morning, Cookeville. Jason and Sheila here. We are in the Willow Window Studio. It's 6:06. Today is Wednesday. It's the 12th of February. Couple more days, fellas, to get those Valentine's Day gifts in and given. Just a heads up.
Don't forget.
I gave Donna hers last night.
You couldn't wait.
I'm not good at waiting at giving gifts.
Me either. Once I've got it and I'm all excited because I'm thinking they're going to love it. They're going to love it.
Right.
And then I'm like, I'll give it like a month before Christmas.
So Donna got hers, and the grandbabies, they got to open theirs yesterday. And Elena, she got to open hers. So just everybody got their Valentine. So I'm already ahead. I'm killing it.
And they all loved it, didn't they?
Yes, I am dominating Valentine's Day right now.
That's really sweet. Good job. I haven't given my present yet, but I will.
All right, you're a little behind. It's okay.
I'm not behind. I'm not behind. Valentine's Day is not till Friday.
Sure, but I was first.
It's going to be a little windy and gusty today, besides all the hot air in here. 45 right now, a high in the mid to upper 50s, and it will be rainy this morning through
It's okay, Sheila.
the afternoon.
Everybody burps on the radio.
I didn't burp, really. It was just a little catch in my throat.
Right, yeah.
I did acupuncture yesterday.
Is that what's causing it?
Well, I did it on my sinuses because, I'd been sick and I've been kind of stopped up.
Yeah.
It really helped.
Did it work?
Manage. Yeah. Yeah. It's good stuff.
I got to tell you, it did do a number. I was a skeptic, and I was like, oh, well, wait a minute.
I wouldn't steer you wrong, Jason.
Yeah. To the point that I'm thinking about going back.
You need to.
Yeah.
I think it makes you a happier human being.
Yeah. She was talking about the rain. I just saw National Weather Service. We are from Friday through Sunday, we're in the 3 to 5 inch
of
mark.
Rain.
Yeah.
Wow.
Of rain. And so this weekend is just going to be sloppy and terrible.
Oh, I went to take my dog out in my backyard, and it just felt like a sponge. The yard did, and even my little, she's a little spoiled toy poodle, and she looked up at me like, do I really have to go out in this? I'm like, better this than in the house, girl.
Yeah. I don't like this.
No, that's how she looked at me.
Right.
She looked at me like, I'm kind of like a cat. I don't like getting wet, but yet if there's a puddle, she'll go run through a puddle.
Huh.
Just like a child.
Few things you need to know. Covenant Health Cumberland, the hospital up in Crossville, Cumberland County, had a grand opening for their cardiac cath lab.
Oh, that's great.
So I guess
Glad they have that.
me too. It's going to save lives.
Definitely.
I mean, they could get down the hill to Cookeville or the other way toward Knoxville pretty quick, but not quick enough if they needed to do this. And it's just great that the people in Crossville, Cumberland County don't have to drive somewhere for that now. So
yes,
good for them. Had their grand opening, and as far as I know, that is operating currently at Covenant Health Cumberland in Crossville.
good for them. Congratulations. Well, it looks like UCHRA is hiring. They're looking for an adult community corrections case officer in Smith County. So if you'd like to work in Smith County, you can help make a difference through client assessment, supervision, and referral. It refers them to great places that they might need and get them assistance and help. So you can join the team. You can fill out your resume and apply at UCHRA in Cookeville.
Okay. This is a cool deal. Tennessee Tech, all the sports get new gear from Nike.
Whoa.
Yeah, so Nike's decided to be a sponsor, it seems, of Tech sports. So now all the girls and guys that play sports at Tennessee Tech will be all decked out in new Nike gear. And
some of the best
coaches and all that stuff. Well, I think it just looks good.
It does. It looks great.
And I think there were Adidas before.
Mm-hmm.
Not that looked bad.
No, it didn't, but Nike.
Yeah.
Top notch. Well, Adidas is not bad, but I mean.
Oh yeah, Nike
is one of my favorites.
That's where you want to be.
Yeah.
And especially
do it.
For basketball, it's real important for. And I know this sounds silly to a lot of people, but it's important in basketball recruiting, especially.
Yeah, I agree.
And so
I know Michael England will be proud.
Yeah, he likes the Nike.
From Exceptional Bean.
But this starts July the 1st of this year. So
I can't wait to see all their
imagine
new
they'll
gear.
have a. Oh yeah. Because Nike supplies Oregon, so. And the Vols.
Yes.
So, I mean, there's nothing they can't do. So I can't wait to see what kind of different uniforms and stuff like that they come out
They're going to look so snazzy.
Way to go, Tech.
Yeah.
Wings up. Tech, yeah.
I'm excited about that.
Tech, yeah.
Well, 6 Cookeville FFA members, they have spent countless hours conducting and working in their supervised agricultural experience.
Mm-hmm.
6 students placed first or second in Middle Tennessee with their projects, and this was this past
Wow, that's
weekend.
awesome.
Mallory Johnson, equine production placement. Savannah Peterson, agricultural processing placement. Also, Honey Wilson. Oh, I love that name.
Uh-huh.
Honey Wilson, agricultural sales, entrepreneurship, and placement. Regional runners up was Connor Bartlett, poultry production, entrepreneurship. Cole Bartlett, sheep production placement. Lillian Upchurch, and that was in agriculture as well. Mallory, Savannah, and Honey will be representatives. Represent CHS, their FFA, and their award areas at state convention in March to compete for the state title.
Let's go.
Yeah, Mallory, Savannah, and Honey, we are rooting for y'all, and
Heck
congratulations to all 6.
Hip Cookeville released their 2025 Hip Cookeville concert series, and Blair and the Bunch, they always bring some really good tribute bands
Yeah.
To CPAC. It gets started March 21st, and getting things kicked off with Pink Houses, the ultimate Mellencamp music experience.
That sounds fun.
I know. And then they got Mixtape the Saturday right after it, which is an 80s tribute band. Some of the others coming this year, the Eagle Maniacs and Resurrection. Resurrection is that Journey band that's been here a few times.
Mm-hmm.
Kings of Queen, that's a Queen tribute. Petty Junkies are coming back this year. The Prince Experience, which I know a lot of people missed last year. People were upset about it.
What did they didn't change the date or?
No, I think it's sold out.
Because it's that good.
Because it was good.
Well, his music's so good. I think that was the first time the Prince tribute.
I think so, but they're back this year, and then they finish out the season in September with Noise Pollution, the AC/DC Experience.
Blair's really bringing some good stuff.
If you want tickets, you can go ahead and get them at cpactn.com. That's cpactn.com, or you can call 931-528-1313 to get your tickets.
Let me just brag on him just a little bit
All right.
because I know
I'm sure he won't mind.
Well, he gets a little humble when you start bragging on him. It's really sweet, but he's starting this, and it's not cheap even to have a tribute band.
Oh, Lord, no.
It's really expensive, so that's why tickets are a little more than what you're used to, but it's not bad at all because it is great entertainment.
Oh,
and if these keep selling out, which I hope they do, they might, spring for the top,
right?
The tribute band. So
all these tribute bands are so good, you barely need the real thing.
the truth. I mean, it's
they
a
really
great
are.
fun night, and you don't have to go to Nashville. I mean, it's just really great entertainment. It truly is. All right, that's all I have.
Oh,
Things I need to know.
Cookeville's got a new HR manager, Amy Garrett. So be sure to say congratulations to Amy Garrett. You do good at HRing over there now.
At HRing, I like that. HRA.
And I think I told you, National Weather Service Friday night through Sunday morning has Putnam County in the 3 to 4 inches rain, and that's just Friday night to Sunday morning. So that's going to be Saturday shot. Just what?
It's a movie day.
Stop.
Saturday.
Now a little further north, they're talking about 4 to 5 inches up around Lafayette.
Rain.
Yeah, Gainsboro.
I just know people hear sometimes every other word.
Oh, of rain, yes. This is all rain. Gainsboro in that 4 to 5 inch. Gainsboro worries me getting that much rain because they flooded before. They're down in
that little basin.
The middle of all those knobs and of course got the river right there and the creeks and stuff. So
it can get dangerous quick.
Yeah, I'm a little worried about Gainsboro in that, but
and there are like flash flooding. I was seeing it come on last night. I was watching some show, and then it said flash flooding alert.
Yeah.
In parts of Tennessee, Middle Tennessee. So.
Oh yeah, everything's already soppy. So.
And then it's still going to continue.
There's nowhere for it to go.
Is there a cold front that's moving in, Jason?
It was 3 storms that were coming through. So all of you with sinus things. Yeah. That's what's going on with you. Sorry. Nothing you can do about it.
Maybe acupuncture.
Maybe acupuncture. That's all I got for a few things you need to know. What about you, Sheila? You done?
I'm done with that.
All right, let's get to, we got to hurry. Your 2 cents is up next. It's brought to you by Freedom Pond, Mayberry Street in Sparta.
What's your favorite movie theme song?
Oh, boy.
When Matt Phillips was in here yesterday talking about Diamonds Are Forever and all that.
What's
with
your favorite
James Bond?
movie theme song? All right, we'll get to that next. That's coming up here on Good Morning Cookeville. We're live in the Willow Window Studio. We'll be right back.
Hundreds of Upper Cumberland residents need help today as they struggle with disease, sickness, or injury. When you give, 100% of your gift goes to help right here in our community. Learn more at cookevilleregionalcharity.org.
Discover the savings at Freedom Pawn, located at 49 Mayberry Street in Sparta. We're not your typical pawn shop. Explore our extensive selection of jewelry, tools, gaming systems, knives, and guitars, perfect for any enthusiast. For the archery lover, we offer Barnett crossbows and other top brands. And don't forget, we're your trusted guns and ammo store with the best selection around. Visit us today. Just look for the Bigfoot in front of the store and see why Freedom Pawn in Sparta is your ultimate destination for great deals.
Seems everything costs more these days. Gas, groceries, and when's the last time you checked your wireless bill? Yikes. When it comes to big wireless, if you're staying, you may be overpaying. Here's how to get the same fast, reliable nationwide coverage without the big wireless bill. Switch to Consumer Cellular. Plans start at just $20 a month, and that's not a short-term promo. Our U.S.-based experts will get you switched and saving in about 20 minutes. Call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit consumercellular.com and start saving today. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing.
Your home is your sanctuary, a place to get away from the stresses of life. Willow Window can help transform your home with the highest quality windows and window treatments. Choose from honeycomb shades, plantation shutters, or blackout blinds for privacy. Motorized window treatments can control outside light with the touch of a remote. Get your free estimate today. Call 931-WINDOW-1. Willow Window, 310 Newman Drive in Cookeville.
When a woman experiences an unplanned pregnancy, she often feels alone and afraid. So many times her first response is to seek out an abortion. But because of the generosity of listeners like you, that search may lead her to a preborn network clinic where she'll choose life, not just for her baby, but for herself. Preborn offers God's love and compassion to hurting women and then provides a free ultrasound to introduce them to the life growing inside them. This combination brings the ultimate miracle of life to life, which is why Preborn saves 200 babies every single day.
That changed my life. Just from that ultrasound picture, I'm going to keep my baby, and I'm going to keep growing, and I'm going to be a great mom.
Your tax-deductible donation of $28 sponsors one ultrasound. And now through a match, your gift is doubled, saving twice as many babies. How many babies can you save? Please donate. Just dial pound 250, say the keyword baby. Pound 250, keyword baby, or go to preborn.com/Beck. Preborn.com/Beck. Sponsored by Preborn.
You let him try violin because you love him. And if you love him that much, love him enough to make sure he's buckled up and in the back seat. Find out more at nhtsa.gov/the right seat. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
1077 and 1400, The Hub.
Good morning, Cookeville.
Jason and Sheila. Good morning, Cookeville.
Good morning, Cookeville. Jason and Sheila here. We're in the Willow Window studio. It's 6:22 now.
I'm happy about our guests that'll be in later. After 7, it will be Cookeville Theater Company's Kathleen Gilpatrick and Latrice Willis. They have a play that's coming up for Black History Month called We Rise Above.
Okay.
Tracy Platt from Upper Cumberland Child Advocacy Center will be in. There's a lot of things that are coming in that she's doing, coming up, Fishing with a Mission and all that.
Yeah, Fishing with a Mission for sure. Yeah. And I imagine some other stuff too. Looking forward to all that. Your 2 cents is brought to you by Freedom Pond. That's at 49 Mayberry Street in Sparta. Stop by and see them for anything you need, from guns to guitars. They got you at Freedom Pond in Sparta.
Your 2 cents question: what's your favorite movie theme song?
All right.
Mine is probably Footloose.
Well,
that's a good one.
I thought that, but I really like I'm All Right.
Oh my gosh.
Caddyshack.
Kenny Loggins, yeah.
So that's
see, both of those are Kenny Loggins.
right. I mean,
Danger Zone.
Kenny Loggins was the king of
movie
themes.
Yeah.
There's so many other good
View
ones.
to a Kill. That was a James Bond one with Duran Duran.
What was the main theme for, like, because we talk about a great soundtrack, 16 Candles. What was the main track for that? Because I bet there was a lot. Was it Everybody Wants to Rule the World?
That was one of the songs on it.
I don't know if it was the main theme or not.
I don't know, but that's a good soundtrack.
Yeah, Ghostbusters would also be a great answer.
Very good, Jason. Yeah. You have taken this seriously. In between, on the break, he was looking so serious, and I go, "You okay?" I'm just thinking, what theme is on?
Well, there's so many good ones back in the day.
The 80s ruled those theme songs.
You wanted the movie soundtrack as bad as you wanted to go see the movie.
Yes.
I mean, that was just part of the thing.
I would save up my money for those soundtracks.
You had to get the soundtrack too, because it was so good. I mean, even
it wasn't at our disposal like it is with y'all with
right.
everything streaming.
But they don't even really do that anymore. I think the last time I saw one that was worth anything was the guy that was in Parks and Rec, and he's a space guy.
Oh, are you talking about? Oh gosh, Gosh, I know him, and I can see his face. He was in that. Oh gosh,
Y'all know what I'm talking
with
about.
the raccoon and all that.
Yeah, with the
And
raccoon.
Groot.
I'm Groot.
Galaxy, Guardians of the
Yeah.
Galaxy.
Guardians of the Galaxy. There you go.
I still haven't got his name.
That's the best one that's been out for a while. It's the only one that I can remember them even put it recently that they put out a soundtrack for.
That was really cool because it was a lot of cool 70s and 80s
Yeah.
songs.
But I used to love those soundtracks. But Pretty in Pink had a great one.
Gosh, yeah.
All those great 80s
It was
teenage
Breakfast
movies.
Club.
Yeah, oh, yeah. St. Elmo's Fire.
That was a great soundtrack. I
Uh-huh.
really like that. You know when an instrumental makes it big,
Uh-huh.
it's really good.
Oh, yeah.
It's a great song. Here's what some of the others are saying about your favorite movie theme song.
Oh, my gosh. Eastbound and Down.
Oh, yeah. Loaded Up and Truckin'.
Yeah. And
What was that? Smokey and the Bandit.
Smokey and the Bandit, yeah.
How Do I Live?
Well,
Con
today's
Air.
Burt Reynolds' birthday, so that's
Is it really?
Absolutely.
Well, happy birthday to old Burt Reynolds.
Yeah.
He's passed, though, hasn't he?
Burt Reynolds?
I think he's gone.
No,
Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe he's just what? You don't think so?
I don't think. I'd be sad if we found out Burt Reynolds had died.
Well, me too. It ain't like I wanted him dead.
Sounds like.
No, I didn't. I was
Sounds like
thinking he passed a couple of years
You're
ago,
all
but maybe
deaf to Burt Reynolds.
Lonnie Anderson's still alive, but I don't
Yeah.
think they're together anymore. Anyway, Daniel said, "How do I live?" Con Air. Remember Leanne
Oh,
Rimes?
yeah.
Leanne Rimes and Trisha Yearwood had that out. What was your favorite? Who do you think did it best?
Oh, Faith Hill.
I said Leanne Rimes or Trisha Yearwood did How Do I
Trisha
Live?
Yearwood then.
Anyway,
The other one that wasn't Leanne Rimes.
she didn't do a bad job, but then when you hear Trisha do it,
Yeah.
you're like, oh my goodness.
Well, I'm looking up Burt Reynolds.
Or Faith Hill. Angela said, Toy Story, You've Got a Friend in Me. I love that. And she said, or Dirty Dancing, I've had the time of my life.
Yeah, Burt Reynolds is dead.
Who was right, y'all?
2018.
See, I thought he had passed. I'm sorry about that, Jason.
Well, that's all right. He
I
was
don't know how you didn't remember that if
he
it
was
was
a
such
hero.
a big deal.
He was a hero.
That laugh.
He was a hero.
Convoy. Jim said that.
Ooh.
That's a great one.
Come on, Rubber Duck.
I loved that song when I was a kid.
Yeah.
Kim said Unchained Melody from Ghost.
Oh, that's a good one. I didn't even
You
think
know,
about
Unchained
that one.
Melody. Was that also in Top Gun? Didn't he sing that? Or was it another one? You've lost that love and feeling.
Yeah.
Getting it mixed up.
Right.
John said Shallow from A Star is Born, the Lady Gaga and Bradley Cooper one.
That is a good
great
song. Yeah, I agree with that one for sure.
Kevin said Smokey and the Bandit. Yeah,
Yeah.
I know he's talking about Eastbound and Down. Live and Let Die. That's what Russell said. That's one of the James Bond ones.
Mhm.
Paul McCartney and also Guns N' Roses did a good version of that.
Yeah, they did.
Sarah said the Rocky theme. Dun, 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 dun.
That is great.
Or Eye of the Tiger. It could have been that one, but I think she's talking about.
Well, I mean, either one would be great. I tell you what, I don't think anybody's going to say is Bon Jovi, Young Guns from Young Guns 2.
Let me tell you.
Great song.
Blaze of Glory.
Yeah, Blaze of Glory. Yeah.
That is a great song. And they wanted to use one of the original Bon Jovi songs, talking about traveling on a tour bus. And he's like,
Yeah.
that really doesn't fit your Western movie. Let me write one for you.
Yeah.
Boy, did he write
Yeah,
one.
Blaze of Glory was a good one.
It's a great song. And then Johnny Ferguson, He Didn't Let You Down. Smokey and the Bandit theme.
Uh-huh. And I would also go, Who Made Who from Maximum Overdrive, AC/DC. That Maximum Overdrive
I
soundtrack
do like
was
that
good.
movie, and I can't place that song.
Who made who? Who made you?
Oh, I know that one. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was just trying to get Jason to sing. It's hard to get him to do that on air.
Well, especially an AC/DC song. I can't sound like Brian Johnson.
No, I don't want you messing up your beautiful pipes.
That's right. Yeah. Spoiler alert is coming up next. Oh, if you want to get in on this, we'd love for you to. You can find it on News Talk 107.7 and 1400 The Hub on Facebook. We're looking for your favorite movie theme. That's your 2 cents. It's brought to you by Freedom Pond. That's at 49 Mayberry Street in Sparta. For some reason, that got me thinking about Mayberry's furniture.
It gets me thinking about Andy Griffin every time. Griffith. Griffin.
Andy Griffith.
It's just like Kathy Griffin. I can't keep up with her either, and I don't need to.
Spoiler alerts up next here on Good Morning Cookeville. We hope you hang out with us a little bit this morning.
We hope you do. We apologize for acting up, but we can't help ourselves.
Local news. News Talk 107.7 and 1400. The Hub.
News is brought to you by One Bank of Tennessee, where service is second to none.
From the WHUB News Center, I'm Rafferty Cleary. All good police have identified the man who was fatally shot by law enforcement following a vehicle pursuit Monday morning. APD says Tommy Lee Spurlock was shot and killed after he rear-ended a Putnam County Sheriff's Office patrol car on I-40. The agency said Spurlock had initially fled a DUI traffic stop in town before the shooting took place. Officials say the investigation remains ongoing. TBI special agents have charged a Smith County man with one count of sexual exploitation of a minor. 29-year-old Nathan Tyler Goolsby accused of uploading multiple files of child sex abuse material to a Dropbox account. Cumberland County authorities and the TBI investigating after locating skeletal remains Saturday. A Tuesday press release says someone reported the remains at the area of Westall Road near the Mount Roosevelt Wildlife Management Area. Officials said investigators are working diligently to identify the remains and determine the circumstances surrounding the discovery. That's the news from WHUB. I'm Rafferty Cleary.
Good morning, Cookeville. I'm Jacob Vincent with the UCR Sports Report on 107.7 and 1400 The Hub. Last night on UCR, the Cookeville Cavaliers swept the Smyrna Bulldogs and will each have a chance to get the 2 seed in the District 7 4A tournament on Friday with wins against Stewart's Creek. Sparta girls beat Upperman 58-46 to stay unbeaten in district play. Upperman boys beat Sparta 64-48. The Pickett County girls beat Gordonsville last night. In the win, Zoe Nicholas broke a program record with 45 points. The Gordonsville boys beat Pickett County 55-43. The Tennessee Vols fell to Kentucky for the second time this season, 75-64 on the road. The Vols were outscored 17-4 over the final 4 minutes and 51 seconds of the game after leading 60-58. Tennessee is now 20-5 and 7-5 in SEC play. Elsewhere in college basketball, Michigan upset Purdue 75-73. Unranked Indiana beat number 11 Michigan State 71-67. Kansas State upset Arizona 73-70, and UConn beat Creighton 70-66. The New Orleans Saints hired Eagles offensive coordinator Kellen Moore to be their next head coach. Since 2019, Moore has led his teams to being 5th best in points per game, yards per game, and QBR. Join us tonight for the UCR Basketball Show presented by Fire and Vine. Myself and Noah McKay will break down all of last week's action and this week's action so far. We'll unveil the UC Top 5 and let you know what's going on the rest of the week. Our show gets started at 6 o'clock. I'm Jacob Vincent, and that was the UCR Sports Report on 107.7 and 1400 The Hub.
The UCR Sports Report on 107.7 and 1400 The Hub, brought to you by One Bank. The Fox Business Report is brought to you by Paul Winkler Incorporated, now with an office in Cookeville, creating confident investors. PaulWinkler.com.
I'm Liz Clayman, and this is the Fox Business Report.
World markets are mostly higher, but Wall Street could be in for a soft open as investors brace for some key inflation data. The Consumer Price Index for January comes out at 8:30 a.m. Eastern, and it's expected to show that inflation grew 0.3% from the prior month and at a 2.8% annual rate. That's still above the Fed's target of 2%. A lot of forecasters anticipating the fires which devastated parts of Los Angeles will have affected prices, including rents. Oil retreating after an industry report indicated a large increase in U.S. crude stockpiles, and Supermicro computer shares jumping in the pre-market after the AI server maker significantly lifted its fiscal 2026 sales outlook. That's your Fox Business Report. I'm Lillian Wu, invested in you.
When you're hiring, have you ever felt like you're missing out on meeting great candidates? Well, they're not hard to find when you go to ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day. People who are actively looking for jobs like yours. So it's easy to find the right person fast. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com.
Upper Cumberland weather.
Brought to you by the Habitat for Humanity's Habitat Restore, located at 560 South Jefferson in Cookeville.
This is your latest forecast from News Talk 107.7 and 1400, The Hub.
We're going to have to keep an eye on flooding potential, especially over the next couple of days. But today is going to be a rainy day, not as much rain as we may see towards the weekend. Daytime highs in the mid-50s to around 60 today. Overnight, we'll be back in the mid-30s. The rain will taper off Thursday, with highs in the mid-40s. We'll be near 55 to around 60 on Friday, and then clouds and more rain and maybe some storms by the weekend.
Good morning, Cookeville, with Jason and Sheila.
On 107.7 and 1400, The Hub.
Hadn't done that yet.
Yeah.
That's the station me and Sheila are on in Lexington, Kentucky.
Hank FM, but that's not it.
Lord have mercy. Good morning, Cookeville. We're Jason and Sheila here.
You know what happened? He keeps making fun of me for messing up and saying "Good Morning America"
Yeah.
at the Sparta.
Well, at least we're actually on that thing.
Maybe it's wishful thinking of being on Good Morning America. Spoiler alert.
Yeah, it's 6:36 and it's cold and rainy today, right?
Yeah, it's going to be a high in the mid to upper 50s, but right now we're at 42 and windy. It's going to be gusty.
That's what you get, Sheila.
For making fun of you.
Spoiler alert, Edward Norton's going to be on Jimmy Fallon.
He's a good actor. I like him.
Jimmy Kimmel has some SNL greats on there. Tina Fey and Amy Poehler. Of course, they're getting ready for their big 50th anniversary on Sunday.
Okay.
Seth Meyers has John Hamm on there.
I like John Hamm. I'm hoping he's going to be back on Landman.
He's not. He's dead.
But we don't know for sure.
He's dead.
Everybody's been talking, Jason. It's the talk of the town. Did he really die?
He's dead. Is
he going to come back? Is he just going to be recovering?
Nah, he's dead.
I don't want him to be.
Me neither. I like John Hamm.
I do too.
I liked him in Mad Men.
I loved him in that. That's where I first started loving him.
That's a great show.
And I love that he's got that old classic look. He looks like a really nice,
like a man's man. Yeah. Right, like he smells of brute and Old Spice.
I like it.
Some weird mixture of that.
But really delicious smelling.
But with Dracar and Polo on top of that.
Yes.
And then whatever this newfangled stuff is.
He ain't newfangled.
No.
Old fangled.
Right, he smells
That's what I like about him.
Just aftershave and
got
nothing
good,
else.
Good hair.
Right.
Yeah.
The Masked Singer debuts tonight. Season premiere of that on Fox.
I like that show.
Me too. It's a guilty pleasure.
Yeah.
It really is.
And when Tim is the one that first had it on several seasons ago, and I'm like, what in the heck are you watching?
That's what Donna did.
And then I sat down and he goes, it's actually pretty good. I know it looks silly. And then I sat down thinking I'm going to make fun of him. Then I got to trying to guess too, and I got really into it.
Right.
It's a fun show.
It is. Also, The Price is Right at Night. That's on CBS. And then Bravo, a season premiere of Summer House.
Summer House.
Which I've never heard of. On streaming, you've got on Hulu, a series premiere of Friends with Benefits. Also a series premiere of Between Walls. That's on Hulu. Harlem Ice is on Disney Plus. That's the limited series there. This will be cool. This is on Paramount Plus. It's a special presentation. Eric Clapton unplugged over 30 years later. You remember when he did the unplugged on MTV?
You said 20 years later. Yeah.
30 years.
30.
Yeah, 30 years later.
20 was going to be like baffling for me because
30.
it feels like it was just like maybe a couple of years ago.
No, 20 years ago was just 2005.
It feels like that's when it was. When he stripped down Layla and did that, which both versions I like.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like the original one the best, but I didn't think the slowed down. And then he did Tears in Heaven.
Yeah.
he made me cry when I first heard that song.
Well, you can relive it all again tonight on Paramount Plus, and then on Tubi, a show called Saving Wendy Williams. So there's where she had that talk show, and
I think that what channel's that? What
Tubi? It's on the Tubi app.
It's already come on like one of the other, like A&E or something, and I saw it, and it was sad.
Oh, okay.
It's sad, but worth a watch.
Well, everything on Tubi's free, so
Right.
you can,
And so they get it maybe a year after or something.
couldn't tell you.
But yeah, if you haven't seen that, it's really shocking at how she went downhill and all the health problems. Really, her mind wasn't as quick because Wendy Williams is just quick.
Oh yeah,
And
Very
so funny. And you can tell it just.
You hate to
some
watch
things-
that.
She was confused, and I felt like her family should have stopped that filming.
Buffy the Vampire Slayer may be rising from the dead, which I think we already knew this. Variety reports that Sarah Michelle Gellar is going to return in a supporting role for the Hulu series, with a new Slayer taking care of business in the lead. But
I thought that was a good show.
I'd seen a few episodes of it, but I haven't seen. I've never sat down and watched it.
And she's one of the detectives that's on Dexter now.
Ben Stiller will produce and star in The Band, an upcoming HBO dramedy about a scandal-plagued pop mogul trying to start a new boy band that will help him wipe away some of his past misdeeds.
That sounds like it would be entertaining.
Yeah. Dave Bautista will star in Dreadnought.
I like him.
Say sci-fi thriller about a man trying to help his family survive a deadly plague caused by the crash of an alien spaceship.
Oh my goodness.
And you know, that sounds like something, oh man, that is sci-fi. That would never happen. It could happen next week.
It could happen.
In real life, and I'd be like, well,
Just think of all these crashes that's been happening lately
Well,
with the airplanes. You know, sometimes aliens stuff goes wrong too.
that sounds about right.
If there are aliens. But that David Bautista, wasn't he in Guardians of the Galaxy when we mentioned that earlier? Wasn't he in that too?
Yeah, I think he was. He was the guy with all the big guy with all the crazy tattoos.
Yeah.
I think that's right.
See, he's entertaining, so I bet that movie would be good.
The producers of the London production of the Dolly Parton musical Here You Come Again are at war with certain audience members who've been yelling slurs at cast members.
Oh. Are they not doing good service to
I don't
Dolly?
know. They've been ejecting them from there. I don't know
I
what.
don't like the slurs and stuff, unless they're not doing Dolly justice.
I don't-
Then I might be slurring them.
Need to find out what that's about.
Yeah.
Al Roker's ex-wife Alice Bell has passed away at 77. They were married from 84 to 94, and they share a daughter, Courtney. So thoughts and prayers are with Alice Bell's family and Al Roker. Sean Bean will play the Sheriff of Nottingham in the Paramount Plus streaming series Robin Hood, slated to hit service this year. I hope that's good, because I love Robin Hood.
You do?
Always have. It's been one of my favorite little stories.
Really secretly want to be a Robin Hood?
Of course. Who wouldn't want to be Robin Hood? I'd play Robin Hood in the backyard. I love the Kevin Costner Robin Hood movie.
I mean, who wouldn't if you, well, I was going to say if you're a lady, but
Well, I mean,
he looked real good in tights.
well, did you watch Robin Hood Men in Tights?
Yeah.
Yeah. I've watched all the Robin Hood stuff.
But I mean, that's a big hero.
But I'm hoping that, being on Paramount Plus, it has some of that Paramount Plus to it.
Yeah.
Like a little bit of that Yellowstone in it.
Well, if it's not being produced by Taylor Sheridan, I don't know.
It doesn't say that it's
But they do
not.
choose really good shows. I like
Yeah.
Paramount Plus. It's becoming one of my favorite streaming services.
The Canine star of TV's Hudson and Rex passed away at age 7 before filming for the show's 7th season began.
That's awfully young.
The German Shepherd has been replaced by 2 of his nephews.
Oh, Yeah, the bigger dogs just don't live long enough, but 7 still
know,
sounds like
it's sad.
I mean, my goodness.
I know we've had Reggie for 4 years now, and
I can't even discuss you not having Reggie.
be tough.
I like all 3 of your dogs, so.
Be a tough day.
You're a good dog dad.
I know. Jason and Travis Kelce seem to have a great relationship now, but it wasn't always. No. Jason tells Bustle that before they started their New Heights podcast, they weren't in touch very often.
Oh, that doesn't mean they were fussing.
Yeah, they just weren't.
They were both busy
Right.
doing different. Same thing, football, but they were probably just on different coasts all the time.
The best part of the podcast, he said, is just getting to talk to Trav. Before we started the podcast, we'd go months sometimes without talking to each other. The podcast forces us once a week to sit down and talk to each other.
I think that's wonderful.
And Jason's glad for the opportunities. And after all these years of being in different cities and fighting to make it in the football landscape, to rekindle the amount of times that to rekindle the amount of times that we talk and the closeness that we have growing up our entire lives. So that's good.
That podcast with them, you could tell they're crazy about each other.
Yeah.
And just pick on each other all the time. But it's great.
All right. Well, Sheila, that's about does it for spoiler alert. There's nothing else in here worth talking about.
All right, then.
Heck, I'm not even sure all that was worth talking about, to be honest with you.
It wasn't, but I was interested in some
She
of it.
said it wasn't, but
Well, we don't watch half the stuff we talk about.
well, but sometimes I do
But I want to know about it.
watch it because of that.
Yeah.
Like I'm absolutely going to watch Masked Singer tonight if I can stay up for it.
And I forget when it comes back on, so I like being reminded of that.
And anyway, so that's your spoiler alert. Now y'all know a bunch of random stuff too.
Stuff. None of y'all probably gonna watch.
Coming up, we've got the real good and round 3 of Ask Sheila. Sheila's already at 5 right for the week. She got 3 yesterday. Unbelievable.
That's the first time in a long time. I don't even know if I've ever gotten 3.
Unbelievable, Sheila.
Unbelievable. Wow, I get an unbelievable from Jason.
So all that's coming up next. Hang out with us. It's Good Morning Cookeville. We're live in the Willow Window Studio.
Hey guys, this is Jeff Root, General Manager at Ford of Cookeville. Are you tired of spending your precious time driving to and from our dealership for your service needs? That's why we are excited to announce Ford Pickup and Delivery and Ford Mobile Service. With Ford Pickup and Delivery from Ford of Cookeville, we come to you. Our factory-trained technicians perform expert service right where you are. Want to learn more about Ford Pickup and Delivery and Ford Mobile Service? Come see us, 1600 Interstate Drive, or visit us online anytime at FordLagonaCookeville.com.
Join Upper Cumberland Habitat for Humanity for their Race to Build Hope 5K Run Walk, Saturday, March 29th at 8 a.m. at the Livingston Central Park. The race is supporting Upper Cumberland Habitat for Humanity's mission to build affordable homes and strengthen communities. So lace up and join the fun Saturday, March 29th at 8 a.m. at Livingston Central Park for Upper Cumberland Habitat for Humanity's Race to Build Hope 5K Run Walk. To register, visit uchabitat.org.
And so it was when Jesus had ended these sayings that the people were astonished at his teaching, for he taught them as one having authority and not as the scribes. Matthew chapter 7, verses 28 and 29. Hello, Upper Cumberland. This is Jesse Flowers with the Jerry Whitson Road Church of Christ. Join us this month as we study Jesus' Sermon on the Mount from the Gospel of Matthew every Sunday morning at 8 a.m. on our radio program, Words of Exhortation, right here on WHUB. May the Lord bless you as you serve him and serve others.
Hey, Golden Eagle fans, it's your head women's basketball coach, Kim Roseman. Join us for an action-packed night at the Hooper Ebelin Center, Thursday, February 20th versus UT Martin at 5:30 p.m. with Coach Pelfrey and our men's team to follow. Come watch us battle it out on the court and help us secure another home win. Don't miss a moment of the action this season. Get your tickets today at ttusports.com or call the ticket office at 931-372-3940. Let's pack the hoop and make this season unforgettable. Wings up.
Hey folks, this is Paul Winkler. One of our clients said
said something interesting about why he chose us. He said the financial advisor he had worked with up to this point in his life wasn't the one to get him through retirement. Is that you? You've made it this far, but you recognize you don't get a do-over when you're actually in retirement. It's not too late to feel confident about your financial future. The first step is easy. Set up a phone consultation or in-person meeting with any of our offices by calling us at 615-851-1950 or just go to paulwinkler.com.
And now located in Cookeville.
Let the bidding begin. It's time for the show, and you know it's gonna go high. There's a buzz in the air, and people come from everywhere to hear the auctioneer cry. The sound of the gavel never gets old when you hear an EJ say so. Live or online, we handle auctions of any kind.
Call Amanette's Eagle Auction at 526-5335, where we soar higher.
Jason and Sheila. Good morning, Cookeville. 1077 and 1400, The Hub.
Good morning, Cookeville. We're Jason and Sheila. We're here. We're live in the Willow Window studio.
Oh, we're back. A high today is going to be about 55 to 58, somewhere along in there. We're at 43 right now. Excuse me, feeling a little congested again. Rain will be coming most of the day, and wind gusts up to 15 miles per hour.
We
you laughing at me?
We just got in here talking and chit-chatting.
And they're like, oh, wait.
Oh, yeah.
We got a job to do.
We're supposed to be doing this show. We better do that.
Talking about our meetings and stuff we got coming up, and then we're like, oh, wait. I think it would be funny, like, to show behind the scenes one day, but we'd probably get in trouble.
What do you think that?
Just because they'll know we're not as professional as we seem. Not that I seem professional at all during the day.
I don't think anybody's misconstrued this for being professional.
I don't think so either.
And if you have, I'm sorry.
It's all in my own head. Hoping that it seems professional. Sometimes.
I can't find the real good in here. I know I
find the real good.
I know I printed it out for us. Hang on.
Okay, all right.
I'm pretty sure. Yeah, here it is. Just out of order a little bit. Every day, me and Sheila, we go through a bunch of news stories, try to find some that are positive and uplifting, and we call it The Real Good. Now that was pretty professional. I'm not going to lie. Coco Gauff is currently ranked as the third best tennis player in the world.
Really?
And the highest ranked American player. She recently made a $100,000 donation to the United Negro College Fund to support scholarships for students playing competitive tennis at historically black colleges and universities, or HBCUs. You've heard about that quite a bit. Coco was inspired to make the donation by her family's deep-rooted history with HBCUs, going all the way back to her great-great-grandmother.
How neat. That's some history.
She said supporting the United Negro College Fund in creating opportunities for student athletes in tennis means a lot to me. She said, as a young black athlete, I understand how impactful it is to see people who look like me thriving in both sports and education. So good stuff there. David Fisher of Westfield, Indiana, has made a career out of being an expert at jumping rope. He's traveled the world showing off his skills, and has even written children's books about jumping rope.
Not as easy as you think, especially at our age.
I was going to say, you're hot. I mean,
hey, I was shorter than this when I was jumping rope when I was a kid, and I did good.
Tiny little jump legs.
I don't know how people teach dogs to jump rope. I saw that the other day. Sorry to get off the subject, but it's still about jumping rope.
Last December, he became a real-life hero when he, along with his son Felix, rescued a teenager and his dog from an icy pond using double Dutch ropes.
See, there was a dog involved.
The teenager had fallen through the ice while trying to save his dog. David quickly grabbed his jump ropes to help. Just instinctively, went right for my bag of jump ropes and pulled out the double Dutch ropes, he said. Despite the ice cracking under his feet, David managed to pull the teen to safety bit by bit. David and Felix then took the teen and his dog to their home so they could warm up and wait for first responders to arrive. The community praised their quick thinking and selfless actions, with Westfield Mayor Scott Willis calling it absolutely remarkable. The adventure concluded with David and Felix receiving a life-saving citizen award for their courageous act.
I love it.
That's so cool. To Coco Goff, and I hope I'm saying Coco's last name right. Also to David Fisher and his son Felix. Y'all are real good. It's 6:55, Sheila, and it's time for Ask Sheila.
All right, let me get some more brain juice, which is coffee.
Round 3 here of Ask Sheila for this week. Let's see here. This is about being younger or older and things that you might do differently.
This is about being young, just age.
Yeah, just think of the difference between me and you. Typically, Sheila,
Jason,
the younger you are, the more you do this. What is it? Typically, the younger you are.
Laugh.
I'm going to give it to you. A smile is the answer. But you can't, it's hard to
laugh without smiling.
Yeah. I mean,
so thank you for giving that to me. I don't think
all right, Sheila.
All
Question
right,
number
Jason.
2 of round 3. The older you are, you'll do good on this one too. The older you are, the less you do this. What is it? The older you are, the less you do this. Because, you get a little older, you get a little bit more, callous to things. So,
care.
Well, I mean, yeah, but
that's not.
If you care, you might
be upset, get angry. You don't get as angry when you get older.
The older you are, the less you cry.
Oh, well, I mean, compared to babies.
I mean, I tried to give it to you.
You tried to help me along.
I tried. Those are all really good hints.
Well, I gave really good answers.
Last question here.
I'm not sitting over here not answering.
For round 3, Sheila's up to 6 for the week. Get to 7 right here. Generally speaking.
Yep.
The older you get, the less you want this. What is it? The older you get, the less you want this.
I'm going to say, since we're talking about little kids and then adulthood and all that, this is not me, but I think the majority don't like a surprise party.
Like what kind of surprise party?
Like birthday surprise party.
Birthday party is the answer.
Now, that is not me. Y'all can surprise me. Y'all can plan it and me know about it. I don't care. I like parties.
Sheila likes things in her honor.
I really do.
Sheila likes things that may require her wearing a sash.
Or a tiara.
Or a tiara. But who doesn't, right?
I don't understand why they wouldn't. It's just like when we get adults, we're supposed to not have fun. We're supposed to be all serious.
Yes, yeah.
I am not serious.
Coming up, way to go, Sheila. 7, and it's just Wednesday.
So I got 2 today.
Yeah, you have a real opportunity to beat 10.
You have a real good
No, you do. You have a real opportunity.
You get 3 more.
You got 2 days to do it. That's a for sure. I mean,
I'm not going to guarantee I can.
Well, no,
I'm not going to guarantee I won't.
Coming up after 7, some great guests from the Cookeville Theater Company. We got Kathleen Gilpatrick coming in, also Latrice Willis. They're doing a program called We Rise Above for Black History Month. And then at 7:30 from the Upper Cumberland Child Advocacy Center, Tracy Plants will be in here and hear what all the Upper Cumberland Child Advocacy Center is doing. We'll be right back. Hang out with us.
This is News Talk 107.7 and 1400, The Hub. Good morning, Cookeville. W299BY, 107.7 FM, and AM 1400, WHUB Cookeville.
He went from a Russian prison to a White House homecoming. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News.
President Trump is a hero.
Mark Fogel, a school teacher, kissed the ground when he got off his freedom flight from Russia.
He was arrested for carrying medical marijuana in Russia back in 2021. After that, he was sentenced to 14 years in jail. His family has been spending years fighting for his release. They talked to Trump on the campaign trail, urging for them to have this happen.
That's Fox's Mark Meredith. President Trump did not detail what the U.S. exchanged to set Mark Fogel free, but he called it very fair. A Kremlin spokesman in Moscow says a Russian citizen not named yet will be released, and President Trump hopes this deal will help in Ukraine, too.
I hope that's the beginning of a relationship where we can end that war and millions of people can stop being killed.
And we're told another detained American will be set free today as Israel threatens to restart the war in Gaza if Hamas does not release hostages as planned Saturday. President Trump reiterated that all hell could break out if Hamas doesn't release everybody by Saturday.
It's going to be a big moment. We'll see what happens. I don't expect much happening with these people.
The president also again touted his plan for the U.S. to take over Gaza and rebuild it. Meeting with Jordan's King Abdullah, who opposes that, unwilling to house a lot of displaced Palestinians. Elon Musk also went to the White House. The leader of DOGE, the new Department of Government Efficiency, working to cut spending.
It's not optional for us to reduce the federal expenses. It's essential.
Now, President Trump signed an executive order for federal agencies to work with DOGE to cut back the federal workforce, though one of many legal challenges to the Musk-DOGE push has a deadline for federal workers to take a Trump buyout offer to resign, delayed indefinitely. There will be a hearing today in the House on DOGE oversight.
Democrats are ready to fight.
That's Congresswoman Melanie Stansberry, as Democrats claim that Elon Musk is an unelected billionaire who is out of control getting into federal agencies. America's listening to Fox News.
You said bye-bye to big government. Now it's time to trim the fat from big wireless. Pure Talk gives you the exact same service. They use the same cell towers, the same 5G network. You get better customer service, and you pay half the price for the exact same thing. Get unlimited talk, text, 15 gigs of data with mobile hotspot for just $35 a month. Make the switch. You simply dial pound 250, say the keyword save now, save an additional 50% off your first month. Pure Talk, America's wireless company.
Why pay more for prescriptions? Stop overpaying and start saving with SingleCare. It's easy. Find your prescription on singlecare.com, show the coupon at the pharmacy, and start saving. SingleCare works at pharmacies nationwide and is completely free to use, whether you have insurance or not. So the next time you fill a prescription, check SingleCare to make sure you're getting the best price. Take control of your prescription costs. Go to singlecare.com or download the free app today.
In about 3 hours, there's a big vote in the Senate for a controversial Trump cabinet nominee. Democrats do not support but cannot block.
The Senate will vote to confirm Tulsi Gabbard as Director of National Intelligence. Plans for a midnight vote were ditched because of winter weather in the Washington, D.C. area. The former Democratic Congresswoman of Hawaii seeking the party's nomination for president during the 2020 election, later leaving the party, endorsing President Trump's 2024 bid for the White House. The Senate voting to advance her nomination in a 52-46 vote Monday. Later, the chamber is also expected to vote to break the filibuster on the nomination of Robert F. Kennedy Jr. to be Secretary of the Department of Health and Human Services. Kristen Goodwin, Fox News.
Democrats also do not support Kennedy. Now, at the House this morning, the Federal Reserve Chairman will answer questions about the economy and inflation the day after Jerome Powell told senators it's not clear when the next interest rate cut is needed.
We do not need to be in a hurry to adjust our policy stance.
We know that reducing policy restraint too fast or too much could hinder progress on inflation.
Now, next hour, before Powell's testimony at the House, we'll get an inflation update. January's Consumer Price Index, the annual rate, has been creeping back up recently. On Wall Street, ahead of that, stock futures are down following a mixed session with the Dow gained 123 points, but the Nasdaq dropped 70. NBA history was made last night. Here's Fox's Jared Max.
Kevin Durant of the Phoenix Suns became the 8th player to reach 30,000 points in his NBA career. Durant, a 15-time All-Star at age 35, joined LeBron James, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Karl Malone, Kobe Bryant, Michael Jordan, Dirk Nowitzki, and Wilt Chamberlain as the only players to score 30,000 points in their NBA careers.
Man, it's a true honor to be in the same category as those players.
The one downside for Durant, Phoenix lost the game. The Memphis Grizzlies beat the Suns 119-112. I'm Dave Anthony. This is Fox News.
Local news. News Talk 107.7 and 1400. The Hub.
News is brought to you by One Bank of Tennessee, where service is second to none.
From the WHUB News Center, I'm Rafferty Cleary. All good police have identified the man who was fatally shot by law enforcement following a vehicle pursuit Monday morning. APD says Tommy Lee Spurlock was shot and killed after he rear-ended a Putnam County Sheriff's Office patrol car on I-40. The agency said Spurlock had initially fled a DUI traffic stop in town before the shooting took place. Officials say the investigation remains ongoing. TBI special agents have charged a Smith County man with one count of sexual exploitation of a minor. 29-year-old Nathan Tyler Goolsby accused of uploading multiple files of child sex abuse material to a Dropbox account. Cumberland County authorities and the TBI investigating after locating skeletal remains Saturday. A Tuesday press release says someone reported the remains at the area of Westall Road near the Mount Roosevelt Wildlife Management Area. Officials said investigators are working diligently to identify the remains and determine the circumstances surrounding the discovery. That's the news from WHUB. I'm Rafferty Cleary.
From the WHUB Willow Window Studios, your trusted window, garage door, and custom window treatment experts. Willow Window. Stop by their new showroom at 310 Newman Drive, Cookeville.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. This is radio station WHUB, the voice of the Upper Cumberland in Cookeville, Tennessee.
Good morning.
Good morning, Cookeville, with Jason and Sheila on 107.7 and 1400 The Hub.
Good morning, Cookeville. Jason and Sheila here. We're live in the Willow Window Studio. It's 7:06 now.
And from Cookeville Theater Company, we have Kathleen Gilpatrick and Latrice Willis. And there's a play coming up February 22nd called We Rise Above. And are you both the directors of it, or?
Well, Latrice is mostly the creative director of it. She's a new director, so I'm helping her with what's called blocking, which is the movement. But she's got this.
So this is your first time directing?
My very first time wearing the director's hat in the director's chair, creating something just out of content and things that I seem to find that would be entertaining, but also, inspirational and just nice to see on stage.
What's that been like for you, being your first time doing, I don't know, first time doing anything is stressful, obviously, but I mean.
It's been challenging. It's been stressful. But as I have gathered content, looking through content, I've ran up on a lot of great art pieces, poems, images, and things of that nature. I'm a bossy person by nature, I guess, anyway. So, I have a creative mind. So I can just visually see things and just try to pull them from different areas to make things happen. And the director, Kathleen, has always seen something of a director in me. I haven't seen it myself. I'm used to being on the stage.
Yeah.
I'm just used to memorizing my lines, knowing my blocking, getting on the stage and going backstage. This has been a whole total new machine.
Do you have a new respect for former directors that you've had?
Absolutely. Now I see why all the directors in the television shows and movies look crazy. Where
That's
they just,
exactly
where
right.
they just look crazy. They look wild and they look mad, and I totally
so many
see it.
that you've got to control with the movements and them knowing their lines, and then making sure they say it with feeling. And
yes,
it's a whole lot to think about.
It is a whole lot.
Like herding cats.
That's true.
It is true, but fortunate for us, we have a lot. We have some that have come back from other I Am My Ancestors' Wildest Dream productions, and that have also done stage plays and experiences, dancers and things, and singers and stuff like that.
So tell me if I'm wrong on this, and I'm a lot of times wrong. This isn't like a continuous, like you'd think of a play. This is multiple performances within, like
vignettes or something
under the umbrella of.
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
So
yes.
how does that work in this deal?
Well, we're hoping it works successfully.
Good answer.
Okay, but how it works is I'm actually just trying to set a vibe, if you understand what I'm saying.
Yeah. I'm old, but I ain't that old.
Yeah, just understand, just set a vibe.
I get vibes.
Yes, and
You are a vibe.
and just have different things that just flow and have the same synergy and tell the same story.
Okay.
And just could be a poem, or it could be a dance, or it could be an image, or a spoken word, or a song.
Just celebrating the culture.
Yes, celebrating Black
Black History
women.
Month.
Yes, Black women, and all women, but especially for Black History Month, Black women. I just really wanted to honor and celebrate. Yes. Just remember to celebrate where we are right now.
So is this something that, the name and how this is going to go, is that something that you came up with, or is that something that somebody else in another place did and you're like, I love that, I'm doing it? So
We Rise Above.
We Rise Above.
how did it come about?
Well, in past Ancestors productions, I've done the Maya Angelou Still I Rise twice, and this year
that's no slouch right there.
And this year, especially the day after the election, I kind of woke up and the word rise, just kind of keep going up, just elevate, don't stay down, just elevate up, rise up. And we sat at the table the very next day, and we were talking, and We Rise Above came out of our mouths. And ironically, in our opening act, one of the lines is "We rise above." So it was meant to be. It was fitting.
Sure,
it was fitting.
And then curating all this stuff, is that what took the most time when you were talking about, directing, curating the art, the dance pieces, the songs?
Yes, finding the content.
So this is not a play that you got from someone else or somewhere else.
No, ma'am.
That's what you were talking about, researching and everything.
Yes, researching.
It's amazing.
Yes, researching, reading. I can be listening to a song and my mind works. Oh, this. As in particular, we have a Nikki Giovanni tribute at the end, and the night before, I was reading some of her material, and I was just reading it, and I was like, this is good. I like this. This is good. And sadly, the next day, she passed away.
Oh, wow.
So I was like, tribute.
Yeah.
Absolutely. She was going to be a big part of it anyway, but that timing just let me know to pay her some tribute.
Now, is that somebody that I don't know a lot about that person?
She's a famous poet.
Oh, okay.
Yes, from Knoxville, Tennessee. Yes.
Oh,
Yeah.
Well, go Vols.
Yeah.
But she's a famous poet from Knoxville.
Yes.
All right. And then, so did you ever get the opportunity to meet her or talk to her? Or?
I never had the opportunity to, but I do have friends that have met her before. Seems like a very down, humble lady, just a very loving, sweet spirit of energy and a presence that she gives out.
And I guess her poetry has that same vibe.
It does. And I can remember reading her poetry in high school. I was a member of the Cookeville speech and drama team, a member of the National Forensics League.
Hey now.
Hey now. And so my drama teacher, Bandy Draper at the time, would hand me material to read.
I love Miss Draper.
Yes, and she would hand me material to read. And in high school, I really didn't understand it, but she would give me, and I read some of hers along with Langston Hughes. and a lot of other poets and authors. That was in 1987, so that was a long time ago. I can't remember all of them.
What class did you graduate in? Cookeville High School.
1987.
87, all right.
87. Stand up, class of 87.
I didn't have Miss Draper. I wasn't smart enough
Oh, no.
for Miss Draper's class.
Well, what you're doing right now, she would have loved you for backstage.
I think she liked me anyway, but I just remember her. She was always a kind person.
She was a little lady, but she had a lot of fire, and she taught me a lot with having confidence and doing things on my own path.
And it sounds like I love it when the teachers recommend, because I had a teacher that was really special, Mrs. Dean, and she is the one that made me start loving reading. She gave me, when I was in the 5th grade, The Diary of Anne Frank.
Oh, yes.
And, when you're the same age, or if somebody you reminds you of yourself, it really is going to set differently with you.
Yes, it sure
So with her giving you the poetry and all that says a lot about her.
It does. I can even go back farther. I can remember meeting with Marjorie Hargrove when I was a child. I can remember going to her office. I can remember, and I really don't, she obviously came to the schools or in the community where I lived. I was so young, but I do remember her. I remember her office. I remember her car. I remember her hair. I can just remember her being in theater. And I actually remember sitting in the Wesley Theater and at the time and seeing black actors and actresses on stage, really, really young.
It helps you envision yourself up there.
Quite possibly.
If they can do it, I can do it, kind of thing. Or can I do that? Like you start questioning yourself and then kind of pushing yourself, because it sounds like you've always loved acting and being a part of it.
I do. I really, really do. I love it. I love it a lot. I love theater. I do. I really do.
It's really cool to hear you talk about, things that happened to you as a kid that you remember like that, because a lot of people don't understand that was a small thing. It really was, but they don't understand the big impact, the small things can happen.
Absolutely, that small little seed was planted.
I completely get it. I was in 1st grade first time I came into a radio station, and I was like, oh, well, guess that's what I'm going to do.
Right, and you remember it so vividly.
Oh, I can tell you what it smells like, who was there, the whole bit, just like you were describing. It's amazing. It's Good Morning Cookeville. We're live here in the Willow Window Studio. We'll be right back with more with Kathleen Gilpatrick and Latrice Willis. We're talking about We Rise Above. We'll find out more about that coming up in just a little bit on Good Morning Cookeville, live here in the Willow Window Studio.
Looking for something to take your mind off this traffic? How about a true story of instant success? Did you hear about the 2 friends who went grocery shopping in Ashland City and picked up everything on their list plus $75,000? Or the one where a truck driver made a last-minute stop off Interstate 40 and drove off with a cool $1 million? All their lives changed in an instant, and yours could too. So stop by your local retailer for your chance with instant games from the Tennessee Lottery. Game-changing, life-changing fun. Please play responsibly.
The next Half Price Upper Cumberland starts this Friday at 9. Get half off CG's Boutique, $25 gift card for half price. CG's Boutique, stay in style. 29 East 1st Street in Cookeville, behind Exceptional Bean. For more information about Half Price Upper Cumberland, visit our website. It's Half Price Upper Cumberland.
If you have automotive needs, Dependable Auto Sales and Service along with Colonial Automotive would love to help you. Whether it's towing or service, body shop needs, are you ready for a new car? We have everything you need, including the financing, including the warranties. It doesn't matter what it is, DAS is on your side. Please come see us at 1575 Interstate Drive right here in Cookeville, 931-526-7355. That's 931-526-7355, 24/7 at DAS Auto Sales.
Your Cookeville Gas Department works closely with contractors to make certain no gas line is broken when excavation is done. However, there are times when damage does occur. If you smell gas where construction is being done, please notify the gas department immediately. Better yet, call us before you dig and let us locate the lines for you. Help us keep natural gas the safest energy there is. natural gas, energy for life. This message brought to you in the interest of safety from the Cookeville Gas Department in cooperation with the Tennessee Public Utility Commission.
The election is officially over, but is your money still at risk? We still have a staggering $35 trillion in debt. Interest on this debt now costs more than our entire defense budget for the first time in history. On top of that, we're still feeling the consequences of the brutal inflation we saw under Biden and the global chaos ripping across the globe. That's why thousands of concerned Americans are turning to precious metals to help hedge against these threats. And they're reaching out to the top-rated precious metals company, Goldco, to make it happen. Goldco has over 6,000 five-star reviews and has helped people just like you purchase over $2.5 billion in gold and silver. Right now, they're offering a free gold and silver kit to help you diversify your savings. Visit HannityGold.com or call 855-815-GOLD to get your copy free of charge. Plus, you could receive up to a 10% instant match on bonus silver for qualified accounts. Visit HannityGold.com or call 855-815-GOLD. That's HannityGold.com.
1077 and 1400, The Hub.
Morning Cookeville.
Jason and Sheila. Good morning, Cookeville.
Good morning, Cookeville. Jason and Sheila here. We're live in the Willow Window Studio. It's 7:20 now.
And Kathleen Gilpatrick, Latrice Willis, they're here to talk about the play We Rise Above with Cookeville Theater Company. Now, Kathleen, let's know all the details about it. It's February 22nd. That's
no, 21st.
21st,
which is a Friday. It opens February 21st, which is Friday. Now, Saturday, the 22nd, we have two shows. We have a 2 o'clock and a 7:30. And then the 27th is a Thursday is a pay what you can night, and you can make that reservation online, but it's just pay whatever you can afford. If you can afford $1, you pay $1. If you can afford $1 million, you pay $1 million. That's what I'm saying. I'm sticking to it. And then
Good, because I was wondering if I could pay $1 million.
That's why I said.
Right,
I knew
good.
you would.
Well, yeah.
And then we have the 28th, and then March 1st we close, and those are at 7:30. And again, we have the one matinee on Saturday, the 22nd at 2 o'clock. And this is at the Wesley Foundation Chapel Theater, which is at 271 East 9th Street in Cookeville. And we would love for you to come out.
Yes,
I'm excited about that.
Yeah.
Bring 2 or 3, 4 or 5,
Bring
6
everybody
friends.
you know. And this is an incredibly popular show. We have sold out the past couple of years, so do not wait to get your tickets. If there are tickets at the door, great, but don't count on that.
Okay, good to know.
Yeah, because it's already selling really, really well.
Now, what were you saying? This is the first time something's happened in 50 years?
Yeah, 3 years. Well, this is our third. So 2 years ago, with I Am My Ancestors' Wildest Dream, Laurie Strode and I created that. And it was the first time in 50 years an all-black cast was on the stage in Cookeville, Tennessee.
Really?
Yes.
And it sold out.
And it's sold out. They
Which
all
I
sell
love.
out. Yeah,
Yes.
it's first of all, it's just an amazing show. It's hard to describe the energy and the beauty of these shows. So we did that, and it was Marjorie Hargrove, as Latrice was talking about in the former segment. She's the one who put, and if you go in the backstage of the Wesley, there's all the shows, and you'll see Raisin in the Sun, 1975, Pearly Victorious. You'll see those shows, and we are at that theater again, making it happen 50 years later. Yes,
It's hard. I guess I didn't know that that theater there at the Wesley Chapel Theater had been there that long.
Oh yeah, it's been there for a very, very long time.
I've seen a few things there. My son, he's in different plays and stuff.
Yes, yeah.
So I've seen a few shows there, but I didn't know it'd been, because it's still really nice.
Yeah, well, yes, and it started out in the Fellowship Hall.
Yeah.
And then they built the theater, but the Wesley Foundation was the hub for the civil rights movement. They did coffee houses there. They did black theater there. They just had evenings, organization.
I didn't realize that.
Yeah, they organize there. So it has a very, very special place in a lot of people's hearts.
Did you realize that too, Latrice? You knew that?
I did not know that actually, but it makes sense.
Yeah.
It just makes sense that it all just came right back to
You do. There's a certain energy at the Wesley Theater
Yes.
anyway, so that makes sense when you say that. It's like you can feel all that energy, all the past actors, and
Right, exactly. Yeah, it's a very special place.
It
I
is.
was director of theater there for about 12 years back in the 90s. And then it closed for theater for a while, and now we're back again. They're using that space, and it's magic. It's just really, really magic.
That is so cool. I didn't know it had that much history.
Oh, yes.
You almost need to do a program just about it.
Well, we're thinking about doing tours,
Yeah.
and then
explain.
Yes, explain everything.
Yeah, because I mean, I'm not the most what would you say, Kathleen?
I don't know.
Cultured,
Oh, really?
person.
Cultured.
I'm well rounded. I'm
You're
not.
well-rounded.
I'm
it's
not
for being on
cultured.
the show with me.
Yeah, that's true.
So
Good
when
point.
you were talking about some of those other plays, performances that have been there, I never heard of them.
Right.
So
People haven't.
goodness.
Yeah.
well, it's not bad, Sheila. I
No,
figure
I'm sorry. I'm just thinking of Raisin in the Sun.
Yeah, I know.
I mean, I just, I wasn't exposed to that,
No.
growing up.
That's what a
It's
question
not my
I
fault.
wanted to
It's just I
ask.
wasn't exposed.
No, it's true, and I feel like books and theater
Yes.
really teach us either we can relate to people that feel the same as us, or we can have feelings about what others went through, and I think it's so important.
It is very important.
It is. It's important for people to see themselves
Yes.
on stage, and especially this show, to be able. We had a little girl 2 years ago who came to the show, and we had a piece about Harriet Tubman. She was like 5, adorable, and she was with her grandmother. And I just happened to be watching her, and during the Harriet Tubman scene, she looked up at her grandmother and she went, "I know her."
Oh.
And
wow.
Yeah. And so it's like, okay, yeah,
Oh,
we
that
do
makes
it.
me-
Yeah.
I just have feel
Right.
I know.
tears in my eyes.
I
they're
know. And it
watching.
We need
changes
that.
lives. It
Yes.
changes lives.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And I can do that. And it hasn't been that way.
That goes
Right.
back to that, what we're talking about. Being a kid,
Yep.
you get hit with these things that become memories that stay with you forever and influence your life
It kind of
Yes.
helps
forever.
you find your
Yes.
passion too on
It
some of
does.
these.
yeah.
It does.
Everything.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
does.
Exposes theater. I believe that theater changes lives.
Yeah.
I really do.
Latrice, have you been doing theater? Like, did you start this in school, high school, or when did you start doing theater?
I can remember my first play in elementary school at Parkview in the cafeteria, and then I did some things in junior high, but in high school, that's when I just really got into chorus,
Yeah.
the speech and drama, and the National Forensics League, and was in Cavalier Capers. You
Oh,
guys
yeah.
remember those?
I totally remember Cavalier
Cavalier
Capers.
yes.
Yeah.
And so I've
You
always
did all the fun stuff.
I did.
You know what?
did
I
some
think
fun
they had
things.
outlawed that by the time it was my turn.
Yeah,
So wh-
probably.
one of y'all did something terrible.
It wasn't.
It
the
wasn't
class of
Latrice.
'87.
I don't think it was Latrice, but somewhere between 87 and 92, it went off the rails. Cavalier
There you
Capers.
go.
Are you sure
We're
they
gonna
just didn't
disband it.
see you coming and went
That could have been
closing
it,
it
too.
down?
That
Closing
Jason's
it
the next.
down.
Yeah.
Right.
bro.
Yeah, let's close it down before that guy gets in
Yeah,
here. Yeah.
could
I
be.
had another question for Latrice, and I have to get there. How long did it take you to research and do and create all of this?
Oh my goodness.
Because I mean, that's some work.
months and months and months and
Oh
months.
my goodness! It took a couple of months.
It's a labor of love.
Yes, it did, and it is. It took a couple of months, and I just wanted to I just didn't want to throw things together. I wanted things to tell a story.
Mm-hmm.
In this production, I wanted to make it really intimate, where everyone is having a conversation. You're talking
Mm-hmm.
about things. You're having a conversation rather than stepping out and reciting your piece.
Right.
I wanted it to be a conversation amongst women.
A flow and a feel.
That's
I mean, it's not. I
right.
mean, you have a quote real job too that you had to,
Which amazes
do.
me, I mean.
Yes.
I mean, it's not like you were just. you were, this wasn't like your job. You actually had to go out and still earn a living.
Absolutely.
And do this as well.
And do this
And do her
as well.
passion.
Right.
Do this
I
as
can tell
well.
that's your
It's a
passion.
labor of love.
It's been very time consuming, but it's theater and it'll be over with very quickly.
Like
Very
Christmas.
quickly.
Yeah,
Yes.
exactly.
Plan and work hard and work hard, and then all of a sudden you're like, oh,
It's
over.
like you love decorating the tree, but you hate taking it
Yeah.
down.
Exactly.
Tickets are on sale now. CookevilleTheaterCo.org. Prices are $15 for adults, $12 for seniors, $10 for students. It's going to be at the Wesley Chapel Theater. That's at 271 East 9th Street in Cookeville. And all the different dates and times, that's on the website as well. So you can choose there and what day and time you want to go. Ladies, thanks so much for being here this morning. We appreciate it.
Having us. Yes.
That's going to be a great weekend. Not this weekend, but next.
This weekend's going to be a great weekend too. We
It's
got
Valentine's Day.
rehearsals, and we're going to get through them. We're going to seal it in and get ready to give you guys a great show. I hope you enjoy it. I really do. I hope you enjoy it.
Absolutely, go see it and support Latrice and the Cookeville Theater Company. They're doing a great job. It's Good Morning Cookeville, live here in the Willow Window Studio. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Local news. News Talk 107.7 and 1400. The Hub.
News is brought to you by One Bank of Tennessee, where service is second to none.
From the WHUB News Center, I'm Rafferty Cleary. All Good police have identified the man who was fatally shot by law enforcement following a vehicle pursuit Monday morning. APD says Tommy Lee Spurlock was shot and killed after he rear-ended a Putnam County Sheriff's Office patrol car on I-40. The agency said Spurlock had initially fled a DUI traffic stop in town before the shooting took place. Officials say the investigation remains ongoing. TBI special agents have charged a Smith County man with one count of sexual exploitation of a minor. 29-year-old Nathan Tyler Goolsby accused of uploading multiple files of child sex abuse material to a Dropbox account. Cumberland County authorities and the TBI investigating after locating skeletal remains Saturday. A Tuesday press release says someone reported the remains at the area of Westall Road near the Mount Roosevelt Wildlife Management Area. Officials said investigators are working diligently to identify the remains and determine the circumstances surrounding the discovery. That's the news from WHUB. I'm Rafferty Cleary.
Good morning, Cookeville. I'm Jacob Vincent with the UCR Sports Report on 107.7 and 1400 The Hub. Last night on UCR, the Cookeville Cavaliers swept the Smyrna Bulldogs and will each have a chance to get the 2 seed in the District 7 4A tournament on Friday with wins against Stewart's Creek. Sparta girls beat Upperman 58-46 to stay unbeaten in district play. Upperman boys beat Sparta 64-48. The Pickett County girls beat Gordonsville last night. In the win, Zoe Nicholas broke a program record with 45 points. The Gordonsville boys beat Pickett County 55-43. The Tennessee Vols fell to Kentucky for the second time this season, 75-64 on the road. The Vols were outscored 17-4 over the final 4 minutes and 51 seconds of the game after leading 60-58. Tennessee is now 20-5 and 7-5 in SEC play. Elsewhere in college basketball, Michigan upset Purdue 75-73. Unranked Indiana beat number 11 Michigan State 71-67. Kansas State upset Arizona 73-70, and UConn beat Creighton 70-66. The New Orleans Saints hired Eagles offensive coordinator Kellen Moore to be their next head coach. Since 2019, Moore has led his teams to being 5th best in points per game, yards per game, and QBR. Join us tonight for the UCR Basketball Show presented by Fire and Vine. Myself and Noah McKay will break down all of last week's action and this week's action so far. We'll unveil the UC Top 5 and let you know what's going on the rest of the week. Our show gets started at 6 o'clock. I'm Jacob Vinson, and that was the UCR Sports Report on 107.7 and 1400 The Hub.
The UCR Sports Report on 107.7 and 1400 The Hub, brought to you by One Bank.
TRN News.
As the Middle Tennessee city grows, flooding problems are getting a bit worse.
The City Public Works Department issued a stop work order for everything except repairs to stormwater control measures and stabilization of dirt to prevent further runoff issues. Mayor John Corbett tells Fox 17 the issues stem from developments the city already approved.
I didn't sleep much last night because I saw the weather forecast, and I'm worried about my home and everybody else's home in the city of White House.
Last week, flooding forced White House High School to close. I'm Rebecca Hughes.
In Memphis, a man is being held on a $1 million bond for the shooting death of his father. Action News 5 reports Cedric Blue Jr. reportedly had an argument with his father, Cedric Blue Sr., and left the apartment only to return later to shoot his father, who died from his injuries. Blue Jr. is charged with first-degree murder and tampering with evidence. I'm Scott Kimbler.
Number 1 for news from across the state. This is the Tennessee Radio Network.
It feels like you're frozen, petrified. You're struggling with your mortgage payments. The bills begin to pile up. Not knowing what to do, you do nothing at all. And that's the worst thing you can do. Because if you take action, if you do something about your mortgage problems, you're far more likely to get the most positive outcome. Making Home Affordable is a free government program. Call 888-995-HOPE to talk one-on-one with a housing expert about the options that are right for you. Real help, real answers, right now. Call 888-995-HOPE or visit makinghomeaffordable.gov and do something about your mortgage problems. Brought to you by the U.S. Treasury, HUD, and the Ad Council.
2 Democratic Tennessee lawmakers are pushing for an investigation into workplace bullying. More on that from Thomas Cage.
The bill means officers would examine workplace violence to see if it was a result of or connected to bullying. The bill defines bullying as an act by an employee that interferes with another employee's benefits, opportunities, or performance, resulting in physical harm or property damage. Law enforcement would then report their findings to the TBI and legislative committees in an annual report.
The Tennessee Department of Health is reporting the first flu-related death of a child. The death occurred during the week of January 26. Tennessee remains at the top of the very high category for influenza. According to the CDC, doctors advise that children with flu-related symptoms should remain home from school. Some school districts have closed schools this week due to widespread illness. In Dollywood, preparing for its 2025 season. I'm Scott Kimbler, Tennessee Radio Network News.
Upper Cumberland weather.
Brought to you by the Habitat for Humanity's Habitat Restore, located at 560 South Jefferson in Cookeville.
This is your latest forecast from News Talk 107.7 and 1400, The Hub.
We're going to have to keep an eye on flooding potential, especially over the next couple of days. But today is going to be a rainy day, not as much rain as we may see towards the weekend. Daytime highs in the mid-50s to around 60 today. Overnight, we'll be back in the mid-30s. The rain will taper off Thursday with highs in the mid-40s. We'll be near 55 to around 60 on Friday. And then clouds and more rain and maybe some storms by the weekend.
Good morning, Cookeville, with Jason and Sheila.
On 107.7 and 1400, The Hub.
Good morning, Cookeville. Jason and Sheila here. We're in the Willow Window studio. It's 7:37 now.
And we've got Tracy Plant from Upper Cumberland Child Advocacy Center in here. There's always great things coming up. I know Fishing with the Mission is on down the line. I think March or April.
It's Free Fishing Day. I forgot what the actual date was.
But it's coming up. But there's other things going on, too, that we need to talk about.
I think it's usually in June.
Oh, my goodness.
It's usually in June,
I'm just
but
wanting it earlier, huh?
I forgot
We
what.
just want to hang out with the Henry brothers. Let's get real. They're so much fun.
It is going to be at Twin Lakes Catfish Farm again, even though the restaurant closed down. It's still going to be at Twin Lakes Catfish Farm.
That's awesome.
And
I was so excited when they agreed to do that.
the Henry brothers want to do 2 big dollar fish, so we're researching how to do that.
You know, they just always want to make it bigger and better.
I know, yeah.
And they care about the
always.
kids.
I know. It's all for the kids.
Yeah.
It's so awesome.
But so we're researching what it would take to have 2 $25,000 fish.
That's just fun.
Because you know, Henry brothers.
Yeah.
One brother per fish.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah,
That's probably what it was.
which Henry brother did you catch, Chris
I
or
caught
Gary?
Chris.
Yeah. How do you know it's Chris? Well, it hadn't quit talking yet.
It's wiggling.
So, Upper Cumberland Child Advocacy Center, you know, a lot of great things that are under that umbrella. And just as a refresher from somebody, you know, maybe this is the first time hearing about this. This is a quick little refresher for everybody. What is the Upper Cumberland Child Advocacy Centers? I know that's a question because it can mean a lot of different things.
It does, and we have many different programs and kind of have a wide scope of things that we do. But in a nutshell, like the elevator pitch, we are an agency here in town. We cover 7 counties in the Upper Cumberland. We're a nonprofit, and we work with other state and local officials, and we're tasked under the law. The TCA lays out that if a referral of severe child abuse comes into the Department of Children's Services or to a law enforcement officer, we are a part of the team. Us, the DA, whichever jurisdictional law enforcement officer is assigned, the Department of Children's Services, and some of our other providers, the courts, different agencies come together and do a holistic approach to looking into a case, investigating the case, providing services for the child. So we have 2 main functions. One function is that we coordinate these services among all these different agencies. I joke it's a little like herding cats because it really depends on a lot of goodwill that we work together because we all work for different people.
Right,
It's
yeah.
a multidisciplinary approach, which is best for kids. So that's one really important function that we serve. But we also provide direct services to families from our location, from the 7 counties. Those services are really important because they help in that investigation to try to kind of look into that and say, hey, you know, is there something here that a child needs, or is this just a miscommunication and misunderstanding, and we just need to get out of these people's way, and they go on with their life. So we do forensic interviews, forensic medical exams. We provide therapy, victim services, and then case management. So
That key word there too is severe abuse.
it is.
And that's more common than people want to think or realize.
Yeah, I didn't really realize it till we went to, I guess it was your luncheon, and hearing some of the stories there, it was kind of like, okay, thanks for the lunch, but I don't think I'm going to finish eating it. You know, I mean, it really was.
And it's really
one
happening
of those
in our
moments.
area.
It is the 7 counties, and the reason we're divided that way is we're a part of the 13th Judicial District. So DA, the General Dunaway and his team, they're a part of our group, and he's dedicated 2 prosecutors to prosecuting child abuse cases in the area. That probably tells you a little bit about the number of cases that they have to work on. But I can just let you know that, like last year, if you're looking at 2024. We case managed as far as data management and scheduling and having those wraparound services to around 1,000 kids.
Oh my gosh.
But we physically saw in our building around 400. So kind of depends. Every year the numbers are different.
Yeah, that's a lot,
But,
no matter how you look at it.
And that's
It
the ones
is.
that are reported.
We've been hearing a lot, Tracy, too, about especially the past few years. I'm sure it's been going on for ever, but you know, it's been in the news at least the past couple of years is trafficking.
Sure, yeah.
And I don't know if that falls under, you know, what you see,
Mhm.
you know, even here in the Upper Cumberland.
Absolutely.
Is that a thing that we're seeing here, or is that a border problem? Is that a big town problem, or is that a here problem too?
It's a here problem, and like a lot of problems, it's multi-layered. And so kind of depending on how the referral comes in, the Department of Children's Services has responded to this epidemic that it is, and they have created special task force type teams, caseworkers that focus solely on human trafficking.
Really?
They have.
Yes, it's that it's really
Yeah.
common.
Oh man.
So when those types of cases come in, if it's assigned to their trafficking team, we will assist them, provide the location, work with them, and the TBI, because in the state of Tennessee, the TBI has what's called original jurisdiction with trafficking. So those cases are often worked by the TBI or a TBI joint, like local law enforcement type partnership that they have. So if it's highlighted as human trafficking, those cases come in that way, and they do utilize our services. I will say on on human trafficking, though, often the trafficking that we see is maybe not necessarily what you think of if you've watched a movie or a documentary about gangs bringing people in. Now, I'm not saying that doesn't happen.
Sure.
I've personally, and I know we have at our center, interviewed several children that have been trafficked in through that type of avenue. So it does happen. Yes, it happens here. But the majority of cases that we see, unfortunately, are like interfamilial.
Oh.
Families.
Okay, right. Or and sometimes
Families traffic them for drugs and things like that.
sometimes, Sheila, it's for things like rent, food, resources.
Oh my.
And they traffic their own children sometimes.
Possibly, or other children. Yeah.
Or they're an aunt and uncle, or
Yeah, someone that's connected to the child.
Interfamilial. It could be
Interfamilial, yeah, it could be. Which tracks with what we know about childhood abuse. Severe childhood abuse is almost always someone that the child knows.
Well,
you know what I'm
trying to
saying?
Educate too, because I think we don't want to think it's here because it's
We
a bad
don't.
thing. But I mean, they're all ages, right?
Yes.
Male, female.
Yes.
So it can be a young age too.
It can.
Mm.
It can. Yeah. So, but if it's something you're interested in, you can, there are lots of great resources out there. We have some on our website, and kind of delve a little bit deeper and understand some of the differences.
I think anybody that has children or is around kids need to really educate yourself about that too. I mean,
the most important thing anyone can do is just to know what's going on with your kids and where they are, right? Because any of these circumstances,
Track
whether
that
it's
phone.
any of these circumstances, whether it's a multinational level criminal organization that's trafficking children in through the border, or whether it's an individual family situation that you know of, all of these crimes against children have a similar element, and that is opportunity. Because if you think about it, these crimes usually happen in one-on-one type situations. So we've been working on this a lot as an agency, trying to hone our message on that particular thing as far as our prevention strategies, and that actually ties into our banquet. So that's a good lead in.
Oh, good. Well, look there, good lead in, Sheila. We'll find out more about that coming up here in just a little bit on Good Morning Cookeville. We're live in the Willow Window Studio. Hang out with us. We'll be right back.
Experience peace of mind with Cove Generators, your trusted partner in power solutions. Start the new year with peace of mind and our exclusive offer. Purchase a Generac generator and receive a free 10-year warranty. Whether for home, outdoor, or commercial use, our expert installers ensure you never lose power again. Visit us at 728 East 15th Street, Cookeville, or call 615-241-6343. Trust the Cove Generators family to keep your family safe and powered this winter.
Life can be full of risks. One thing you shouldn't take a risk with ever is your family's health insurance. If you're self-employed or you now need affordable health insurance, you need to make this free call right now and see how the Health Insurance Helpline can help you get it.
800-410-6385. 800-410-6385. 800-410-6385. That's 800-410-6385.
You enjoy the thrill of gambling, but what happens when it becomes a problem? Whether you want to cut back or quit gambling altogether, the Gambling Clinic has been helping people change their gambling for over 2 decades. We're here to help, not to judge. The Gambling Clinic is a Tennessee-based clinic offering in-person and telehealth support to help people win back their life. Visit us at thegamblingclinic.com. This project is funded by the Tennessee Department of Mental Health and Substance Abuse Services. Brought to you by the Gambling Clinic, the Tennessee Association of Broadcasters, and this station.
Hey folks, this is Paul Winkler. Have you ever really spent time planning for life after work? If not, you're not alone. For most, it's a scary thought. Making sense of investments, Social Security, Medicare. To make it worse, the advice people typically get is from salespeople or family members who got their information from salespeople. We are here to take the mystery and fear out of retirement. The next step is yours. Call 615-851-1950 or go to paulwinkler.com. That website is paulwinkler.com, creating confident investors.
And now located in Cookeville.
If you're living with dry age-related macular degeneration or dry AMD, you may be at risk for developing geographic atrophy or GA. GA can be unpredictable and progress rapidly, leading to irreversible vision loss. Now there's something you can do to
slow it down, get it going slower.
Izervay is proven to slow GA progression.
Izervay, get your GA going slower.
Izervay or avacincaptad pagel is a prescription eye injection used to treat GA. Don't take it if you have an infection or active swelling in or around your eye. Izervay can cause eye infection, retinal detachment, or increased risk of wet AMD. Izervay may temporarily increase eye pressure. Your vision may be impaired after an eye injection or exam. Don't delay. Ask your doctor about Izervay today.
Izervay, get your GA going slower.
Visit Izervay.com. That's IZERVAY.com.
Jason and Sheila. Good morning, Cookeville. 1077 and 1400, The Hub.
Good morning, Cookeville. Jason and Sheila here. We're live in the Willow Window Studio. It's 7:49 now.
Thank you, Jason. We have Tracy Plant with us, who is with the Upper Cumberland Child Advocacy Center. The banquet is coming up. Is it next month?
It's March the 3rd at the river.
So just a couple of weeks.
We're super excited. Although April is National Child Abuse Month, I'll tell you what we kept running into. This community has so many wonderful nonprofits, and I think in the spring is when everyone has their banquets and things. And so, like, our board noticed, hey, if we get out a little bit earlier in March, we're able to really have a date that's not conflicted.
Yeah, spring and fall in the Upper Cumberland is a ridiculous time to do events because everybody does.
Everybody,
and everybody's like itching to get out and do stuff too because.
And they're all great causes too, right?
Right, and nobody wants
all
to be
good
out
stuff.
in July. It's ridiculous.
So April's National Child Abuse Awareness Month, and hopefully we'll have some things around that as well. But for us, we're going to do it in March, so March the 3rd.
Where's it going to be, March 3rd?
Going to be at the river.
That's where it was last year.
That's right. This year we're doing a luncheon. Last year we did a dinner, and we're thinking we might rotate those because it kind of touches a different audience. Some people that can come during the day can't come at night, and vice versa. And so, this year's a luncheon at the river on March the 3rd, and you can reach out to us at the Child Advocacy Center. You can go on our website, www.ucchildadvocacy.org. You can check us out on Facebook. We want anyone who wants to come. There's no cost to attend.
Okay.
Yeah, no cost. It's a nice lunch.
You need to know kind of how much lunch.
Yeah, we have to know because RSVP to us.
There is an opportunity during the luncheon to give to the Upper Cumberland Child.
It is our major fundraiser through the year. So we do ask and we do explain, and that's a big thing. And when I came on as director, we kind of explained, hey, why are we asking you for money? Because as I mentioned earlier, all the people that we work with in that team to investigate and look into these cases and support these kids, most of those other agencies are all state and federal government agencies that your taxpayer dollars pay for. So I can always understand, if we're fundraising, I want people to know why. Right. And that is because we are the only carve out in that circle of people that are a nonprofit. We are a nonprofit, and we have to fundraise about 20 to 25% of our budget every year. So that's what the banquet is used for.
So tell us what these funds go towards. It's not like you're just, making it rain up in the club.
I know it might surprise you, Jason and Sheila, to learn that sometimes government money spending doesn't make sense.
Oh.
Really? Right. Yeah. So
really?
when I first started there, I got so tickled because we had one grant that allowed us to have a certain amount of money to do something that was needed, like some new furniture or something. But we were out of toilet paper, and that was when I learned, I can't use this grant for that. So the grants that we get, they're wonderful. We're so thankful for them, but they're very specific. So some of the things that we need when we rotate 400 children and families through our center every year aren't covered by grant funds. So we fundraise those dollars, such as snacks, toilet paper. I use that as a silly example, but it kind of lets people know because I've put that on our list before, and people are like, you don't have toilet paper?
Well, when there's 400 people coming through your facility.
That's a lot of toilet paper.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What about, do y'all give teddy bears or things like that to the kids to make them feel comfortable?
COVID taught us a lot. And so we're passing out all these animals, and we're like, oh, we're just passing around germ machines during COVID. So we do still give things to kids. We have 2 groups of ladies in the community that sew for us. Sew Sisterhood with Poplar Grove Church. I know, that's awesome. And then Miss Dunn sews for us. She's just a lady out of White County that loves to sew, and they bring us quilts. And so often we'll let the kids pick out a quilt after they've come to the center.
That is so
cool.
cool.
And they're kind of in a cabinet. They're not picked up and gone. Their neighbor doesn't rummage through them, so they're a little
not their own. And
yeah, it's really special. We've had people come back to us and say, my child sleeps with a quilt every night. It's that kind of gets on the coolest thing about being in this field and doing this kind of work is these are hard situations, and a lot of times when kids come in, it's not the best day for them or their family members, right? But Sheila, often they don't want to leave, or they want to know when they can come back. So like the end of the visit where the relief is there and you can see that, and the kids
and they feel like somebody
just
cares.
vocalize and express that they've been heard, and they want to come back and see us. That's such a reward right there. That's the good stuff.
It shows how much that they trust you too, and how that you're treating them to make them feel comfortable enough to talk to you.
Well, the focus is on them from the moment they walk into the door. It's very intentional as far as we don't ever make children do anything there. So a lot of the children that we see have had their power and their agency already removed from them. Things have happened to them that absolutely weren't their choice, right? Really unpleasant things. So even from the moment you come into the lobby, and sometimes the parents aren't super happy. They may think their kids are there to talk, and they really want their kids to tell us the story. And they walk in, and the first thing we say is, today is about you. You get to choose. And you can see the faces fall sometimes, but it really does almost always work because kids.
Like, what are you doing?
Right, but kids aren't used to that out in the world. Like having a lot of choice
Especially
over
the
things. So
situations that they have been made to do things they don't want to do. So for somebody coming in and saying, "Oh, I could just be me."
You can be
that
you,
feels
right?
So different to
and
me.
you don't have to talk to me if you don't want to. And I'm not going to make you. And so that's a part of that model, because when our interviewers talk with kids, they have to do it in a way that's considered legally defensible, so that if that piece of evidence that they're creating for this criminal case goes to court, it can be defended, right? Like we weren't browbeating, it wasn't an interrogation, we weren't suggestive, and the child played off of us.
Trying to get them to say these things.
We don't have an agenda. Our only agenda is to help kids feel safe, right? But as far as individual cases, like we don't have an agenda. We're just offering the platform for the child to be able to share.
And that's all. That is awesome, Tracy. All of that. I worry about like you and the other people who work there. I couldn't imagine hearing these things over and over and over again. Who helps y'all?
I was wondering that too.
Well, we try to create, and I think we have, for a good part, created an environment at the office that is trauma informed in the way that we communicate and work with each other. We go through trainings throughout the year, because you're right. This is this secondary trauma, various trauma. People call it different things, but it's a real issue in the field, and not just for us. In any societal serving organization, if you're frontline in an ER, if you're in law enforcement, ambulance drivers, domestic violence workers, people who deal with people in trauma every day. So there's a whole field of research and understanding around it, and we get that training. And we joke a lot at our office, because what looks like me time for me to kind of process looks very different than me time for someone else. So We've done several things. One of the latest areas of research shows that if individuals have an opportunity to process and talk and be open about how things make them feel very close to the incident that caused the feeling, they really process that and move on better. And that's a little bit different than this stoic idea of that doesn't get to me. These cases don't bother me. That's just how that rolls. And that's not really true. We take hundreds of little darts a day. So being able to walk out of an interview and look at my coworker and have that space to be like, that really stunk. Man, that was bad. That was one of the worst ones I've seen. And this bothers me. Like I need to deal with this. And so there are days that we do staff meetings at coffee shops, and we have flexibility built into our schedule to deal with things like that.
I imagine you'd have to. I couldn't imagine hearing that, about kids and having that put on me
Mm-hmm.
on a daily basis, that would be.
But what would it
I'm
be
not
for
sure
you
I
if
could
you were a
pull that
child,
off.
though, Jason?
Oh,
What
I
would it be
know.
for you if you were 6
Oh,
or
gosh,
7, right?
I couldn't
Yeah.
even imagine
We
it.
say we like.
I can't imagine as a full-grown adult hearing about it.
Right.
I certainly couldn't imagine being a 6-year-old and actually going through it.
And a lot of times you don't have words to explain what's going on either. You just know something's not right. Yeah. Or maybe sometimes you don't know something's not right because that's how it's been for you always. You know?
Gosh, yeah.
That's what I think about when people say, "Well, it's hard to talk about things like that," and I'm thinking, how do you think the kids?
Oh, for sure. I said this the other day when we were working on some of our video for the luncheon. How do we expect children to talk about these issues and share if we as adults can't even get over our own uncomfortableness
Right.
to be able to have conversations with them that set them up to succeed?
We're about to get out of time here, Tracy.
Yeah.
So give us the what for on
March the 3rd,
March
the River, our annual luncheon. Come join us. And if you're a business or an individual out there that this has touched you, anything we've talked about, you can reach out to us and sponsor us. That'd be great. No amount is too small. We have one individual who's donated $10 a month for the last 3 years. So that's awesome, and that's as important of a gift
Absolutely.
as someone who comes and writes a $10,000 check. So we're thankful for it all, right? Absolutely.
Thanks so much for being here.
Thank you.
We look forward to seeing you for Fishing with a Mission.
Yeah.
Well, that's always a big time. So
Some fun stuff.
we'll be sure as we get closer to that to let you know as well. Again, Tracy, thanks for being
Thank
here.
you. Thank you both.
Who we got tomorrow, Sheila?
It's Ryan Risher from Skinder Newton Realty. You know, he's more than Skinder Newton. He's a lot of great stories on Facebook, so we'll talk to him about that and have some fun.
That's tomorrow here on Good Morning Cookeville. Have a great rest of your day. See you tomorrow. Bye.
Bye. Bye.
This is News Talk 107.7 and 1400. The Hub. Good Morning Cookeville. W299BY. 107.7 FM and AM 1400.